So it's documented now that the Niners struggle against man-to-man coverage. Great against zone, not so great against man. Why do you think that is? Well, it's a complex answer.
There's a lot of, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of answers to that. Again, Debo's not a route runner. One, Juwan Jennings beats man by making a play and going up and get the ball, but he's like high 4.7 guy. He's not a burner. I like Juwan Jennings a lot and what he brings to the table, but he's not a route you up, beat you. That's not who Juwan Jennings is either. And then Brandon Ayuk has been bracketed. He's also not the same player he has been. So there's a little bit on the receivers there. I also think it takes time to get open against man when you don't have the offensive line for that. But I really think it's a scheme thing. I really think more than anything, Kyle Shanahan has a system in place that he's not going to go off of. I mean, there's tons of coaches and players, former players, who have criticized Kyle Shanahan's passing scheme on known passing downs for a long time now. And I think fans are starting to see it because they're not getting in front of the 8 ball in the games, and they're put in those situations more frequently. But I know you have probably a better answer on this.
Well, I just thought, Kyle owns a section of it. And I think it was great to see Kyle struggle to scheme open guys against man-to-man coverage while Andy Reid didn't struggle in the same game. And you can see how Andy Reid does it. He will have a bunch formation. He'll have a little rub route or a little crossing route, or he will throw a screen pass. He was throwing screens to tight ends. Like, where are the screens in your offense, Kyle? It seems like you could throw a million screens to Jordan Mason, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Debo. Like, a lot of these guys would be a lot better on a screen than running a route. So many ways you can do that. And for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan isn't. So a lot of it's him. But like you said, a lot of it is the fact that they paid all these wide receivers all this money, and I'm not sure what they paid them for, because if you can't get yourself open, what are you really getting paid to do? What are you really getting paid to do?
And I think we shouldn't leave out Brock Purdy in this equation.
I agree. He's the third one.
Right. Against zone defense, you just have to know where the hole is and hit it with anticipation. Against man, you have to fit it in the tight windows. You have to throw a little harder on the line. You got to be able to read the defense better. So there's a lot of it falls on to Brock Purdy too.
I agree. So it's just kind of everything.
Yeah.
That sucks, because that means that they're going to keep seeing it and they're going to keep struggling against it.
Yeah. I mean, the 49ers should expect, like, some teams are going to try to do what the Chiefs have done and the Vikings have done, and they're not going to be able to pull it off. Seahawks, for an example, they tried to do it. They just don't have the personnel to do it. The Cowboys might be watching this and try to do it. I don't know if they have the personnel to do it either, but then they're going to come against teams again who do, especially if they make the playoffs, and they're going to struggle. And that's why I think they're going to beat the Cowboys. I expect them to, and the hype's going to come all the way back up. And then they're going to play another team that knows how to scheme against Kyle and has the personnel to do it, and they're going to fall off again. And that's why I don't really have belief in this team this year.
I mean, at least Kyle Shanahan and the organization understood how big of an issue this was, which is why they drafted a wide receiver in round 1. At the time, I was like, man, this is not a need, because they had so many wide receivers. But it's like they had wide receivers who were overpaid and couldn't fulfill the need they needed. But they couldn't beat the coverages they're about to see. And maybe Ricky Pearsall can do it. I think Jacob Cowan can do it, but Jacob Cowan's 5'7". You can't use him as a number one receiver. You could throw him a couple shot plays a game, give him a couple end arounds and jet sweeps, and I think he'd be nice, but he's a complimentary piece.
Here's the thing, and I've tried to be respectful of Pearsall because he's been through a whole lot, and we haven't seen him yet. So I think I need to give him time on the field to show us. But the scouting report on Ricky Pearsall coming out of college was he can't beat press man coverage, and Herm Edwards, his former coach, said he's going to struggle with that in the NFL. Now, maybe Ricky will prove me and Herm Edwards wrong and all the college scouts wrong. But if that's why you drafted him, it doesn't really make sense for you to go to one wide receiver that's known for struggling in that situation.
Yeah. So other than that, it really feels like the Niners got Christian McCaffrey and we never have to face man-to-man coverage ever again. What if McCaffrey gets hurt though? What if he gets bilateral Achilles tendonitis? You're going to see a lot of it.
That's the. I
And
mean, honestly, I think Kyle's banking on Christian McCaffrey return, and that's probably their only hope at this point.
well, we'll see if that happens. This guy, JFig909ers, says Kyle's scheme doesn't work anymore. Simple as that.